You come into the world in complete darkness. There is no gentle greeting, no warm body curling around you. There is only the cramped inside of your egg case and the steady rush of cold water outside. Your small body presses against rough leathery walls as you grow, your gills fluttering slowly as oxygen seeps through. The sea is already moving around you, but you do not know that somewhere nearby the large gray shape of your mother is already leaving. Her powerful tail sweeping once, twice, and then vanishing into the blue. She has done what mothers of your kind always do. She drops her eggs and swims away. She never looks back, and she never will. You feel hunger before you feel freedom. Inside the egg case you nibble at the last of the yolk. What was once a full rich sack is now a shriveled pouch clinging to your belly. The walls that held you safe begin to feel like a trap. Light filters through in faint green strips as the sun above the surface shifts through the day. Waves roll and tug at the weed that your egg case is anchored to. And the whole world swings you back and forth. Outside, curious fish pass by and inspect you with round glassy eyes. Some try to bite the case, teeth scraping against tough skin. For now, that skin is the only reason you are still alive. One day the water around you feels different. It is colder and full of silt, a sign of a distant storm. The weed that holds your egg case bends deeper. The current jerks you harder. The yolk inside you is almost gone. Your body reacts with an ancient impatience. You push with your head, twist your tail, scrape your teeth against the inner surface of the case. The tough walls yield at last. A slit opens and a blade of icy water cuts in. Shocking and perfect. You wriggle through that opening, and suddenly you are free. A tiny shark pup no longer larger than a human hand, striped and soft and completely alone. The first thing you learn about the open ocean is that everything is bigger than you. The second thing you learn is that almost everything that is bigger than you can eat you. The water around the seagrass bed is a tangle of shadows and shifting light. Above, waves dimple the surface and scatter silver beams. Below, the sand is streaked with tracks and pits where crabs, rays, and other hunters pass by. Your slender body moves in quick jerks at first, a clumsy experiment in swimming. Your tail flicks, your body bends into a smooth curve, and you dart forward in a short burst that feels like flying. For a moment you feel powerful. Then a heavier shadow glides above you and you freeze. A young grouper hovers there, its broad mouth opening and closing like a slow question. Its eye is the size of your whole snout. It has never seen a shark this small. To the grouper you are not a future predator. You are simply something moving, something that might fit inside its mouth. Instinct pulls you downward into the tangle of seagrass. Your pale stripes are not decoration. They are armor made of light and shadow. Against the banded patterns of weed and sun, your body becomes harder to see. The grouper searches for a moment, then gives up and drifts away. You do not thank your mother for your camouflage. She is long gone, and you have never seen her face. Days blur into a rhythm of hunger and narrow escapes. Tiny fish scatter at your approach, but you are not yet fast enough to catch the healthiest ones. You learn to aim for the distracted and the injured, for the shrimp that misjudge your distance, for the small crabs that wander too far from their burrows. Each success is a brief rush of life in your mouth, shell crunching between new teeth. At night the seagrass becomes a black forest, full of slow creeping threads. Octopus arms slide between blades of grass, and flat rays rise from the sand with a whisper of silt. You hug the bottom and try to become part of it, your gill slits working steadily as you watch for movement. Now you are a few months old. Your body is longer and stronger. The faint stripes that disguised you as a pup begin to fade as the pattern of your species settles in. A dusky brown-gray on top and a pale belly below. You leave the densest parts of the seagrass bed and begin to explore the nearby reef. The world expands into a riot of color. Branching corals reach upward like stone trees, and schools of bright fish pass in shimmering clouds. You learn the shape of danger here. Eels peer from dark holes, and barracuda wait in the open like silver blades. You circle the edges of this city of stone and flesh, careful never to stay too long in any one place. In the reef you discover something new. You are not the only shark pup that hatched here. Others your size, the same sleek shape and curious eyes, move through the water with you. You keep a distance, wary, but your paths cross again and again, when a large ray glides overhead, its shadow swallowing the sand. You and the others flatten against the bottom side by side. For a moment your fates are tangled together. If the ray decides to feed here, you will all be in danger. If it passes by, you will all be safe. It is not friendship, but it is company. In a life without parents, the simple knowledge that others like you exist is a quiet comfort. You grow faster now because you hunt better. Your eyes learn to read the body language of prey. You sense the twitch that comes before a panicked dash, the slight change in fin angle that betrays a coming turn. Your muscles respond with a grace that would have been impossible when you first hatched. You coil and strike, and when your teeth close around a struggling fish, the sea fills with the metallic taste of blood. It is ugly and efficient, and it means that you live somewhere in the distant blue. Larger sharks hunt seals and tuna, but for now your world is small. You stalk the shallows, claim a shaded overhang as a resting place, and patrol your own modest patch of reef. Now you are 3 years old. You are no longer tiny. Your body has stretched into a sleek meter of muscle and cartilage. Your jaws are stronger, your teeth sharper, and the fish that once frightened you now flee at your approach. You push farther from the reef, into open water where the bottom drops away into dark blue depth. Here currents are highways and everything is moving. Schools of sardines pulse together in tight spheres, and you dive through them like a blade, emerging with a fish clamped in your teeth. Dolphins appear sometimes at the edge of your vision, fast gray shapes that flash in and out of your world. They hunt and play in a way that seems almost joyful. You hunt and survive. With size comes a new kind of danger. Larger sharks begin to notice you. An old scarred male patrols the outer edge of the reef. His body carries marks of battles won and survived. When he is near, the water tastes of his scent, heavy with dominance and age. You flatten your fins and angle away. He does not see you as a child. There are no children in your species, only smaller meals and larger threats. To him you are either competition or food, depending on his hunger and mood. You keep your distance. Respect is a human word. For you this is simply the correct calculation of risk. One season the water grows warmer and thick with life. Plankton blooms in great clouds, drawing baitfish and the predators that eat them. You follow the feast. The days become a blur of hunting and feeding, each successful strike adding new weight to your frame. You are nearly full grown now. 2 meters of streamlined power, with a counter-shaded body that vanishes from above into blue and from below into pale sky. Your teeth are no longer neat little needles. They are stout and triangular, made for cutting through flesh and bone. You finally resemble the idea of a shark that lives in the minds of the creatures that fear the sea. Now you are 6 years old. Your body carries its own stories. Faint white lines mark places where the teeth of a larger predator scraped your flank. A ragged notch in your tail fin tells of a narrow escape from a boat propeller that churned the water into a roaring froth. You have survived storms that turned the surface into mountains of water and days of hunger when prey was scarce and your stomach ached with emptiness. You have also felt the strange stillness that falls over the sea at times, when light filters straight down and every movement feels slow. In moments like that you become aware of something that is easy to ignore when you are small. You have lived this long with no guidance at all. When the urge to reproduce rises in your blood, there is no elder to explain it, no mother to show you where to go. There is only the pull of chemical signals in the water and the ancient programming written in your bones. You follow the scent of others of your kind to a sandy bay that your species uses year after year. The water here is warmer and calmer. full of the sounds of smaller bodies moving just below the surface. Males and females circle each other in a rough dance that has nothing gentle about it. When you mate, it is clumsy and violent. Teeth scraping skin, bodies colliding. The wounds that result are not mistakes. They are part of the process. In this world, even the creation of new life bites back. If you are female, you carry the growing young inside your body for long months. The weight of them changes the way you swim. Heavy and full, your hunger sharpens, and you take more risks to feed. You approach fishing boats that trail lines of discarded scraps. You hunt close to beaches where careless shapes splash at the surface. Every choice is a test. Feed well and you keep your strength. Misjudge and you end up hooked or tangled. Your pregnancy ending in steel and blood instead of sand and water. When the time comes, you seek shallow water or a protected reef and give birth. The pups slide out one by one, already formed, already swimming, already alone. You do not stay to guide them. The moment your body has done its work, you turn back toward deeper water. Your pupils adjust to the darker light as you leave the nursery behind. Somewhere behind you, small striped shapes search for hiding places in the seagrass. Just as you once did. A few will survive, many will not. You do not check. The ocean is full of mouths. If you spend your time mourning every lost tooth and fin, you will starve. Your kind has long ago traded parental care for mobility and numbers. It is not a kind bargain, but it is the one that allowed your lineage to keep swimming through ages that crushed softer species. Years pass, your movements grow slower, not because the sea is less full of danger, but because your body carries more memories with every stroke. The muscles along your sides ache after long chases. Your eyes grow clouded with tiny scars. New teeth still replace old ones, but each broken tooth feels like a small annoyance that takes longer to fade. You still hunt, though not always with the same perfect timing. Sometimes a fish escapes that you would have caught easily when you were younger. Sometimes you let it go on purpose, content to save your strength for prey that is worth the effort. Around you, boat motors and invisible walls of netting become more common, and you learn to turn away from certain sounds in the water. Now you are an old shark. Your body is still powerful, but each year it becomes more expensive to maintain. Tiny parasites cling to the edges of your fins. Faded scars crisscross your back. The younger sharks you meet give you space, partly out of caution, partly because you no longer show much interest in fighting for dominance. The bay where you once came to mate is quieter now. The reef around it damaged by storms and human activity. Fewer pups are born here. The sea does not mourn out loud, but the absence hangs in the water like a missing tooth in a familiar jaw. One day, during a routine hunt near the edge of the continental shelf, your timing fails. You lunge for a fat injured fish that drifts just a little too neatly in the current. And something sharp bites into the side of your mouth. There is a sudden hard pull that you do not control. A line slides between your teeth and cuts into the corner of your jaw. The more you thrash, the deeper it bites. You twist and roll, and the distant shape of a boat tilts above you. To the men on deck, this is sport or livelihood. To you, it is simply the final trap in a lifetime of traps. You fight until your muscles burn and your vision narrows. The hook digs deeper. The line shortens. The surface rises like a ceiling that you never wanted to reach this quickly. You break through into air that scrapes your gills raw. Rough hands haul you onto a hard deck. Your weight, which water once held so easily, crushes you against unyielding boards. The sun is a white fire in your eyes. Somewhere in the haze, a sharp blow or cold metal ends your struggle. And then there is nothing at all. Your story ends there, on a surface your mother never showed you. In a world that you never needed to understand, you begin life as a small abandoned pup in an unforgiving sea. And you leave it as a heavy silent body in the hands of a species that barely acknowledges your struggle. For a shark born without guidance, every breath is a choice and every meal is a narrow victory. Life as an abandoned shark pup is harsh and strangely unfair. Even in an ocean that treats all its children with the same cold indifference.